Welcome to the Michigan DMV Written Test with real questions and answers from the Michigan DMV. Before we get started, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons so you never miss an update and help support the channel. Now let's dive into all the questions and answers you need to study for your Michigan test.
You are coming to an intersection with a flashing yellow light. You should A. Stop and wait for the light to change. B. Make a U-turn because the intersection is closed. C. Drive carefully through the intersection. D. Prepare to stop. The light is about to turn red. C. Drive carefully through the intersection. A flashing yellow light means that you should proceed through the intersection slowly and with caution. Scan your eyes across traffic in both directions. While backing, you should A. Rely only on your mirrors. B. Flash your lights. C. Open your door to see if it is safe to proceed. D. Turn your head and look through the rear window. D. Turn your head and look through the rear window. When intending to back up, always check behind your vehicle before getting in. Children and small objects are difficult to see from the driver's seat. While backing, turn your head so you can see through the rear window. Do not depend only on your mirrors or sensors. When driving in fog, you should use your A. Low beam headlights. B. High beam headlights. C. Parking lights. D. Hazard flashers. A. Low beam headlights. If you must drive in foggy conditions, you should use your low beam headlights as well as your fog lights if your vehicle has them. High beams direct their light upwards, where it can bounce off the fog and into your eyes, reducing visibility even more. A person's ability to drive can be impaired by A. Alcohol. B. Any medication. C. A lack of sleep. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. The ability to drive safely is dependent on the driver being in good physical condition. Driving can be impaired by alcohol, legal and illegal drugs, and being drowsy. You may not park within. Fill in the blank. Of a railroad crossing. A. 100 feet. B. 75 feet. C. 50 feet. D. 150 feet. C. 50 feet. Drivers should not park within 50 feet of a railroad crossing. Drivers should only park where it is legal to do so and where other drivers can clearly see their stopped vehicle. Want to ace your DMV test? Go to cheatsheets.com and get your guaranteed cheat sheet. How can you help prevent rear-end collisions? A. Avoid sudden stops. B. Before stopping, check your mirrors and blind spots for traffic. C. Release the gas pedal and let your vehicle slow before applying the brakes. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. Stopping suddenly can make it difficult for drivers behind you to avoid a rear-end collision. When stopping, release the accelerator to allow your vehicle to slow. Press the brake pedal by applying steady pressure, activating your brake lights and causing the vehicle to stop smoothly. When changing lanes, you should not A. Check your side and rear view mirrors. B. Give a turn signal to signal your intentions. C. Check for other drivers who may be moving into the same lane as you. D. Use your cell phone to contact the police to determine if the road ahead is clear. D. Use your cell phone to contact the police to determine if the road ahead is clear. Before changing lanes, check your side and rear view mirrors for traffic approaching you from behind. Use your turn signal to let other drivers know you plan to change lanes. Check for other drivers who also may be moving into the same lane. What color are pavement markings that separate traffic lanes moving in opposite direction? A. Yellow. B. White. C. Yellow and white. D. Yellow, white, and black. A. Yellow. Yellow lines are used in the center of the road to separate lanes of traffic moving in opposite directions. City driving is more dangerous than expressway driving because of the A. Lower speed limits. B. Narrower driving lanes. C. Cross traffic and pedestrians. D. Worse road conditions and bad weather. C. Cross traffic and pedestrians. Crashes at intersections result in more fatalities and serious injuries than on any other portion of the road. You should always be alert for vehicles and pedestrians, including those that may disregard a traffic signal or other traffic control device. This road sign means: A. You are about to enter a one-way street from the wrong direction. B. U-turns are prohibited. C. You may proceed if the way is clear. D. Come to a complete stop before proceeding. A. You are about to enter a one-way street from the wrong direction. If you drive past these signs, you are going the wrong way and are at risk of a head-on collision. You should cautiously turn around. This road sign means: A. Steep grade ahead. B. Pedestrian crossing ahead. C. Low ground railroad crossing. D. Low clearance. D. Low clearance. This sign indicates that the overpass ahead has a low clearance. You should not proceed if your vehicle is taller than the height shown on the sign, in this case 13 feet 6 inches. A driver should be extra alert to motorcyclists, bicyclists, and pedestrians because: A. They're difficult to see in traffic. B. They obey different traffic laws than larger motor vehicles. C. They always have the right-of-way. D. They don't have rear-view mirrors. A. They're difficult to see in traffic. In many collisions with motorcycles, bicycles, and pedestrians, drivers reported that they were looking but still did not see the smaller vehicle or pedestrian. These can be more difficult to spot in traffic than passenger vehicles because they are smaller, may move faster, and have less noticeable lighting. To prevent collisions with these smaller and less protected road users, drivers should always be alert to the presence of motorcycles, bikes, and pedestrians. This sign means: A. Curves ahead. B. Divided highway starts. C. Divided highway ends. D. Bumps in the road. C. Divided highway ends. This sign warns drivers that the divided highway ends ahead. If involved in an accident, a driver should: A. Stop their vehicle at or near the scene. B. Not stand or walk in traffic lanes. C. Turn off the ignitions of wrecked vehicles. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. If you are involved in an accident, you must stop at or near the scene. Move your vehicle out of the way of traffic if possible. Do not stand or walk in traffic lanes as you could be struck by another vehicle. Turn off the ignitions of wrecked vehicles. If a green arrow turns into a solid green light, you, A. may still turn, but you must yield to oncoming traffic. B. may no longer turn and must proceed straight. C. still have the right-of-way to turn. D. no longer have to turn in the direction that the arrow indicated. A. may still turn, but you must yield to oncoming traffic. If a green arrow turns into a solid green light, you may still turn in the direction that the arrow was pointing, but you must first yield to pedestrians and oncoming traffic. When two vehicles enter an intersection from different highways at the same time, which vehicle must yield the right-of-way? A. Either one. B. The vehicle on the left. C. The vehicle on the right. D. Neither. B. The vehicle on the left. At intersections that are controlled by signs or signals, and at intersections that are uncontrolled, the driver on the left must yield the right-of-way to the driver on the right when two vehicles arrive to the intersection at the same time. This sign means: A. You must drive slowly and sound your horn. B. A bus stop is ahead. C. You are entering a school's parking lot. D. A school zone is ahead. D. A school zone is ahead. Warning signs are used to warn drivers about upcoming hazardous conditions and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign tells drivers that they are approaching a school zone and that they should slow down and watch for children. When you hear a fire engine siren behind you, you must: A. Slow down until it passes you. B. Drive with your flashers on. C. Pull over to the side of the road and stop. D. Speed up and take the nearest exit. C. Pull over to the side of the road and stop. When you hear the siren of an emergency vehicle, you must pull over to the curb or side of the road and stop. If someone is driving aggressively behind you, you should A. Try to get out of the aggressive driver's way. B. Stare at the driver as he or she is passing you. C. Speed up as he or she is passing you. D. Block the passing lane. A. Try to get out of the aggressive driver's way. If you encounter an aggressive driver, you should make every attempt to get out of their way. You should avoid making eye contact with a hostile driver. Challenging a hostile driver by speeding up may only make them angrier, thereby increasing their danger. An arrow painted on the pavement means A. Drivers in the proper lane may make the movement indicated by the arrow, if they choose to do so. B. Drivers in the proper lane must make the movement indicated by the arrow, but only if traffic lights are not working. C. Drivers in the proper lane must always come to a complete stop before making the movement indicated by the arrow. D. Drivers in the proper lane must make the movement indicated by the arrow while following directions indicated by traffic signals. D. Drivers in the proper lane must make the movement indicated by the arrow while following directions indicated by traffic signals. An arrow painted on the pavement within a traffic lane indicates that drivers in the lane must make the movement indicated by the arrow. Drivers should follow directions given by any traffic signs or signals before proceeding in the direction indicated by the arrow. This road sign means A. No passing zone. B. Winding road. C. Pedestrian crossing. D. Low ground railroad crossing. D. Low ground railroad crossing. This sign indicates a low-ground railroad crossing. Where this sign is present, railroad tracks cross the road at a steep slope and the bottom of low vehicles may drag or get caught on the tracks. This road sign means A. Turn right after making a complete stop. B. Right turns are not permitted. C. Left turns are permitted. D. None of the above. B. Right turns are not permitted. Regulatory signs display laws that drivers must always obey. Right turns are not permitted where this sign is present. You are coming to a railroad crossing where the crossing signals are flashing. You should A. Stop and look for a train. B. Slow down and look for a train. C. Look for a train, then speed up. D. Do what the vehicle ahead of you does. A. Stop and look for a train. When approaching a railroad crossing, you must stop your vehicle no closer than 15 feet from the nearest rail if an installed electric or mechanical signal is giving warning of an approaching train. Be aware of other warning signs that may indicate an oncoming train, including seeing a lowered crossing gate or hearing an oncoming train. You should honk your horn when you A. Are traveling through an intersection. B. Are passing a bicyclist. C. See a child who is about to run into the street. D. Are parallel parking. C. See a child who is about to run into the street. Your horn should be used as a warning in situations where you think another driver or a pedestrian does not see you. For example, if a child begins to run into the street in front of your vehicle, you should sound your horn. You are making a left turn from a two-way street onto a one-way street. When you have completed the turn, your car should be A. In the right lane of the street. B. In the center of the street. C. In the left lane of the street. D. In the lane with the least traffic. C. In the left lane of the street. If you are turning left from a two-way street onto a one-way street, you should complete the turn into the lane closest to the lane you have just left. If your car breaks down on a highway, you should A. Sit in your car and wait for help. B. Use your four-way flashers to warn other drivers. C. Sound your horn at passing motorists. D. Flash your headlights at oncoming traffic. B. Use your four-way flashers to warn other drivers. If your vehicle breaks down on the highway, you should signal before carefully exiting the roadway and turning on your hazard flashers. Get as far off the road as possible and park in a location where other drivers can easily see you. Lift your hood to let other drivers know your vehicle is disabled. This sign means A. Keep right. B. Low shoulder. C. No parking at any time. D. Lane ends. A. Keep right. Regulation signs regulate traffic speed and movement, displaying rules which drivers must obey. This regulation sign indicates that drivers should keep right to avoid an upcoming potential driving hazard. While driving on a two-lane road without bicycle lanes, you encounter a bicyclist traveling in the same direction. What is the safest way to pass the bicyclist? A. Slow down and wait until there is no traffic approaching, then pass the bicyclist while leaving him or her sufficient space. B. Continue driving straight. It is the bicyclist's responsibility to get out of your way. C. Do not pass the bicyclist until you come to a traffic signal or stop sign. D. Honk at the bicyclist to let him or her know you are about to pass. A. Slow down and wait until there is no traffic approaching, then pass the bicyclist while leaving him or her sufficient space. You should pass a bicyclist the same way you would pass any other vehicle, but not so fast or close to them that you throw debris in their face or blow them around with the draft of air from your vehicle. Allow at least 3 feet of space between your side mirror and the bicyclist, or at least 5 feet on higher speed roads or when there is a group of bicyclists. Honking unnecessarily may startle riders and make them more likely to crash. This sign means A. Yield. B. Crossroad ahead. C. Keep right. D. Yield ahead. A. Yield. Traffic signs with 3 sides of equal length warn drivers to slow down when approaching an intersection and to be prepared to come to a complete stop to yield to other drivers or pedestrians. Drivers may proceed when it is safe to do so. It is illegal for a person 21 years of age or older to drive with a minimum blood alcohol concentration, BAC, of A. 0.05%, B. 0.08%, C. 0.02%, D. 0.1%, B. 0.08%. For drivers aged 21 or older, it is illegal to operate a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol concentration, BAC, of 0.08% or higher. Driving while under the influence of alcohol is not only illegal but dangerous. It is important to slow down, A. On narrow or winding roads, B. At intersections or railroad crossings, C. When the road is wet or slippery, D. All of the above. D. All of the above. You should always slow down when driving on narrow or winding roads, near intersections, near railroad crossings, on hills, in sharp or blind curves, where there are pedestrians or driving hazards, and when the roads are wet or slippery. What should you do if your accelerator sticks while you are driving? A. Reach down and attempt to pull it up. B. Shift to park. C. Shift to neutral and apply steady pressure on the brake. D. Turn the engine off. C. Shift to neutral and apply steady pressure on the brake. If your accelerator sticks while you are driving, keep your eyes on the road. Quickly shift the vehicle into neutral and apply steady pressure on the brake pedal. Pull off the road when it is safe to do so and turn off the engine. A traffic light displaying a green arrow and a red light means that A. You may only drive straight ahead. B. You may drive only in the direction of the green arrow. C. You must wait for a solid green light to proceed in any direction. D. Vehicles moving in any direction must stop. B. You may drive only in the direction of the green arrow. If a green arrow is shown with a red light, you can only drive in the direction of the arrow and only if the intersection is clear. If 2 vehicles arrive to an uncontrolled intersection at the same time, A. The largest vehicle has the right-of-way. B. The car on the left has the right-of-way. C. The car on the left shall yield to the car on the right. D. The car on the right shall yield to the car on the left. C. The car on the left shall yield to the car on the right. If 2 vehicles arrive at the same time to an uncontrolled intersection, the driver on the left must yield to the driver on the right. The driver on the left may then proceed when it is safe to do so. Stop lines are solid white lines painted across traffic lanes, A. In curves and on hills, B. Next to churches and schools, C. At intersections and pedestrian crosswalks, D. On freeway on-ramps, C. At intersections and pedestrian crosswalks. Stop lines are solid white lines painted across traffic lanes at intersections and pedestrian crosswalks. They indicate the exact location at which approaching drivers must stop. This sign means A. One-way traffic, B. Divided highway ends, C. Two-way traffic, D. Keep left. B. Divided highway ends. Warning signs are usually diamond-shaped with black markings on a yellow background. They alert drivers to upcoming hazards. This sign indicates that the divided highway is about to end. When encountering an aggressive driver, you should A. Avoid eye contact, slow down and let them pass. B. Cut them off to slow them down. C. Retaliate by tailgating them. D. Make sure they know you disapprove of their behavior. A. Avoid eye contact, slow down and let them pass. If another driver is threatening you or intentionally driving dangerously around you, remain calm and try to put as much distance between the two of you as possible. Slow down and let them pass. Do not make eye contact and do not make obscene gestures. When approaching a steady green traffic light, drivers should A. Continue driving, unless there are vehicles or pedestrians already in the intersection. B. Stop if a police officer is nearby. C. Treat the intersection like a four-way stop. D. Come to a complete stop before proceeding. A. Continue driving, unless there are vehicles or pedestrians already in the intersection. When approaching an intersection with a steady green traffic light, yield to pedestrians in the crosswalk and vehicles still in the intersection. You may continue driving, but should approach the intersection at a speed that will allow you to slow down and stop if the light changes before you get there. This road sign means A. Side road. B. Keep to the side indicated by the arrow. C. You may drive in the left lane. D. You have the right of way. B. Keep to the side indicated by the arrow. This is a keep right sign. It indicates that a traffic island, median, or barrier is ahead and that drivers must keep to the right of it. Lanes of traffic moving in the same direction are divided by. Fill in the blank. Lines. A. Yellow. B. White. C. Red. D. Black. B. White. Solid white lines are used to separate lanes traveling in the same direction, as well as to mark the right edge of the road. Broken white lines separate lanes traveling in the same direction and may be crossed to pass. Yellow lines separate lanes of traffic moving in opposite directions. This sign means A. Slow down if an emergency vehicle is approaching. B. Look both ways as you cross the intersection. C. Always come to a full stop at the intersection. D. Slow down and be prepared to stop if necessary. D. Slow down and be prepared to stop if necessary. Decrease your speed as you approach an intersection with a yield sign. Prepare to stop and yield the right of way to vehicles and pedestrians in the intersection or crossroad. You must come to a full stop at a yield sign if traffic conditions require it. When approaching a flashing red traffic light, drivers should A. Drive through the intersection if there is no crossing traffic. B. Continue driving as they have the right of way. C. Stop if a police officer is nearby. D. Treat the light like a stop sign. D. Treat the light like a stop sign. Flashing red lights are used at dangerous intersections. Treat them like stop signs. Your first response to reduced visibility should be A. Turning on your headlights. B. Reducing your speed. C. Turning on your windshield wipers. D. Looking for road edge markings to guide you. B. Reducing your speed. Reducing your speed should be your first response to decreased visibility and dangerous road conditions. Crossbuck signs indicate A. Railroad crossings. B. School zones. C. No passing zones. D. Hospitals. A. Railroad crossings. Crossbuck signs tell drivers to yield to trains at a railroad crossing. Drivers should not try to outdrive a train. Which of the following must you obey over the other three? A. A steady red light. B. A police officer. C. Stop sign. D. A flashing red light. B. A police officer. Directions given by traffic officers take precedence over signs, signals, and pavement markings. People authorized to direct traffic include police officers, fire police, highway work area flag persons, and school crossing persons. A steady green light at an intersection means that you, A, must slow down and prepare to stop. B, must stop and check for oncoming traffic before proceeding. C, may drive through the intersection if the road is clear. D, may not turn right. C, may drive through the intersection if the road is clear. A steady green light means you may drive through the intersection if the road is clear. You may also turn right or left on a steady green light unless a sign prohibits the turn. When turning, you must yield to other vehicles and pedestrians within the intersection. When you see other drivers around you acting or reacting in anger, A, don't make eye contact. B, don't react with hand gestures. C, distance yourself from the situation. D, all of these. D, all of these. When other drivers are behaving angrily, you should take action to physically and mentally distance yourself from the situation. Avoid making eye contact with them, or making body movements or gestures that could provoke them. Slow down, move over, or do whatever you safely can to put yourself out of danger. When approaching a steady yellow traffic light, drivers should A, accelerate to avoid a red light. B, continue driving as they have the right-of-way. C, slow to a stop unless they are already within the intersection. D, check to see what the cars next to them are doing. C, slow to a stop unless they are already within the intersection. A steady yellow traffic light indicates that a red light is about to appear. Stop unless you are already within the intersection. You are driving on a highway divided by two solid yellow lines. You may A, cross these lines only to make a left turn into or from an alley, private road, or driveway. B, cross these lines to pass other vehicles, but only if there is no oncoming traffic. C, cross these lines under no circumstances. D, cross these lines only to make a U-turn. A, cross these lines only to make a left turn into or from an alley, private road, or driveway. Double solid yellow lines are used to mark roadways where passing is prohibited from both directions. You may cross these lines only to make a left turn into or from an alley, private road, or driveway. Braking distance is affected by A, the speed your vehicle is traveling. B, the condition of your brakes and tires. C, the condition of the pavement. D, all of the above. D, all of the above. Factors that can affect braking distance include how fast your vehicle is traveling, the condition of your brakes and tires, and the condition of the pavement.